What's going on, guys? Quamii here. Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for checking out this video. So guys, we know what's happened. The wipe, it's finally here and we've been waiting so damn long, 180 something days from what I recall, and it's finally upon us. This is going to be my first impressions of the wipe. I played it for a couple of hours today and I want to let you guys know what I thought, what I found, and what you guys definitely need to know before you decide to try out the Season 3 wipe for the Cycle Frontier. So if that sounds good to you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz, guys. Much appreciated. Cheers for the support. Feel free to swing by the live stream and say hello sometime. I stream from Monday through to Friday at twitch.tv/Quamii, but you can also find me on Sunday on YouTube for a quick live stream there also. All other details will be in the description box down below. Now we got all that stuff out of the way, guys. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so first and foremost, welcome back to the cycle for you guys who decided to take a break, and I welcome you to Season 3 of the wipe. Now I do have a lot of things to say about Season 3, but I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible. So one of the first things that I noticed in this menu was there was this bug, okay? This is one of the first things that occurred, is that there's this stupid bug where you can't take out these items and your stash is full, and it says there's basic helmets. There's actually nothing there. They're not basic helmets at all, and everyone got this bug as far as I know. The way that you fix this is to actually restart the game and then it all fixes itself. But the annoying thing is that it took you so damn long to get into the game. The waiting time was literally probably about 10 or so minutes, and then you've got to restart the game again as soon as you got in just to fix this one bug, so then you can get back into it, and you got to wait again, and then you can finally get into the action. Now, like I said, I do have a lot of things to say, but I'm going to go in chronological order and start with the negatives first before we get into the positives, okay? So, the first negative was obviously that bug right there, and the funny thing is there was actually multiple bugs that everyone, as far as I knew, experienced these bugs when getting into the wipe of Season 3. So I experienced personally about 4 different bugs. That was one of them. Another one was when you tried to deploy to the map and it just wouldn't deploy. You would literally have to wait quite a while. You have to keep clicking go before it finally let you into the match. That was another one. Another one where the birds were invisible and they would just be flapping in the air and you just wouldn't see them. You'd hear them, but you wouldn't actually see them. It was the same as when they were on the ground and that you happened to run over them. You wouldn't actually see them. You would just hear them go wah, wah, and just fly away, but you wouldn't actually physically see them. And of course, the one that you're probably expecting is the false kill markers. They're still happening in the game, yes. So that's 4 bugs in probably the first hour of the wipe actually launching. So it's been a rocky start, I'm gonna say. And it's not just me, it's a lot of people who've come to my live stream and told me they're experiencing the exact same thing. So it's not just me, and I'm not just talking out of my butt here, okay? And I know it probably sounds like I'm just talking down on the game, saying that it's bad and how much I hate it, and I don't. I love this game, but I just want to tell you my honest first experiences, so then you guys know what to expect when you decide to jump into the game, so it doesn't give you a shock when you're like, wow, this is not what I expected, okay? The game did feel a bit laggy too, like a lot of micro stutters here and there. The first couple of raids were actually pretty good, running smoothly, nothing to complain about, and then it was like later on, when it got closer to like the first hour, is when I think more people started to join the games and stuff, and the servers were just a little bit rocky, we'll say. Now this is the one that probably peeved me off the most out of all the negatives possible, is that they happen to overtune the AI, meaning they meant to make the AI a bit more aware and a bit more aggro, so their ranges be wider, so then they can chase you a little bit further, but they did it too much. They accidentally overtuned it, as far as I understand, and they chase you so extremely far, it literally feels like they're chasing you half the map. It's obviously not half the map, but it feels like it is, and you definitely notice the difference, because they chase you extremely far, and it gets really annoying real quick. So probably the last thing I'm going to say about it for the negatives is that there were so many players around that it was so difficult to get your quests done. But on the other hand, that is a positive too, because then there's a lot of action, then you know a lot of players have come back, and of course that means hopefully the game will prosper once again. Now here's something you guys definitely need to know before you get into your first raids for Season 3, okay? So after about the first 2 hours of the game, people have already started running purple armors. So what they're doing is they're just going straight for the crafting of the purple helmets and the armors, and they're just crafting them, even though they need smart mesh and that sort of thing. So they're not even keeping the smart mesh for their quest. They're purely doing it so they can get a whole bunch of really good armors and helmets, so then it's going to be very hard to kill them, and people are apparently just running around in groups with purple gear. So I'm just letting you know right now that it's happening, and in my opinion this is stupid. You should not be able to get access to purple armor by crafting within the first 2 hours of the wipe, in my opinion. Like, if you happen to find it in raid by any chance, then good on you, and that's fair play to you. But if you're crafting it by going and getting the materials because it's so damn easy, and then you're crafting a whole bunch of them, I think it's not really fair on the rest of the players. And it's like, it's already end game gear and you're getting access to it 2 hours into the wipe. To me, this is just this is not okay. What they should do is to make a solution for this problem, is to just make it that you cannot craft purple helmets and armors until you've unlocked a certain trader level. So let's say it doesn't matter which trader, as long as you get one of the traders to like level 10, for example, I don't know, just throwing that out there randomly, then you can have access to print purple and purple armors and purple helmets at the crafter. That's just what I think. So be warned. Be aware that this could potentially happen to you when you get into your first raids. Those are the type of players you're going to run into. And I've also been told that people have been running to the crash ship because the loot has been buffed. It's easier to get like flechette guns, hammers, and that sort of thing. So they're just rushing there, grabbing it, and extracting. So they got a whole bunch of guns. That's just what I've been hearing about, and you guys need to be aware of that. All right, so let's get on to the positives, shall we? So, the first thing I'm going to say that I noticed is that the quests seem a lot more beginner friendly. I really, really like this idea. I think this is a really good thing that Jaeger has done. So, by doing this, not only is it easier to get progression and to level up and that sort of thing, but it makes it easier on the newer players, because one of the biggest complaints that we've had is that newer players keep coming into the game, and not only is it too hard for them to actually fight the more experienced players, but it's difficult for them to do their quests. So by making it easier, they can progress more and earlier, and they'll get a good vibe of the game, and they won't feel like it's pointless because they just keep dying. Now they can keep progressing, and they can feel pretty positive about it because the quests are much easier and they can finally get stuff done. Another thing that they did that I really liked was that they have made it so you cannot get access to Tharis Island until sometime in April. So the point of this is obviously, I think, is because so people can't just rush and get a whole bunch of forged gear sets and being more overpowered at that stage of the game. But lo and behold, people are getting overpowered anyway because they're getting regular purple armor, but you know, here we are. Now the next thing that I really wanted to talk about, which is a positive thing, is the movement. The movement feels a little bit better and smoother overall, even though there is stutters, but that's obviously a server issue, not actually a problem with the movement of the game itself. So the movement it feels a lot more like flowy. I don't know how else to explain it, but it feels very smooth. And compared to Season 2, where it felt a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word I'm thinking of, like stocky or something, like you just feel really slow sometimes. I don't know what it is, but the movement here in Season 3, it feels much, much better, in my opinion. Another thing that I noticed is that the loot rooms have been buffed, which is really nice. So when you get those puzzle rooms, you can get a good chance of getting some decent gear, which would include guns and maybe even armor. But at least the loot has been officially buffed. Compared to before, like, you would literally go in there and you'd be lucky to find an AR-55. It's just like, what the hell is that? What am I going to do with that? You know, so I'm happy that they finally did that, and I'm looking forward to looting some more of the puzzle rooms to see what else we can get, because the loot in the world spawns, generally speaking, definitely needed a buff, because most of the stuff that you needed for even decent gear would all have to be crafted in some way, shape, or form. So the more chances of you finding it in the world spawn is a +1 for me. Now I can't remember if this is the same for Season 2, but for Season 3, you get access to Crescent Falls much earlier compared to, from what I remember from Season 1. Season 1, you had to do a lot of stuff before you could finally go to Crescent Falls, but now you can get access to Crescent Falls. I think you need to hit like level 3 with like one of the traders, which is pretty simple, and then you can go to Crescent Falls. The reason why I say this is good is because now the players aren't just packed on the one map, which is Bright Sands, everyone doing their quests and trying to get their little items and their little upgrades for their hideouts and all the rest of it. Now it's a little bit more spread out, so it's not just so there's people everywhere, left, right, and center, under every nook and cranny, and they're just there. So the last thing I'm going to mention is the free loot runs. I really like doing these. This is actually a lot of fun. You just basically get a free loadout and you can use it in the raid, and if you want to keep everything that you find, you got to obviously extract from the raid. It's just like a free scav run from Escape from Tarkov, and I just feel like this also helps the new players because they will feel less inclined to be worried about dying because they'll be scared of losing their gear, as most new players would be. But by having a free scav run, it encourages the new players to keep playing, and that no matter what, they're going to have a free loadout regardless, so they got nothing to worry about. Alright guys, so that's my first impressions of the Season 3 wipe for the Cycle Frontier. Now I know there's a lot of negatives, but there were some positives too. It's a shame that it didn't really work out as well as what the developers planned for it, but you know, things happen, and not everything always works out according to plan. But it is what it is. Whenever it's launch day, things do happen and mistakes do occur. So hopefully within the next couple of days they throw in a little patch here and there to make things a little bit more smoother and maybe fix some of these internal issues that they're having with the game. But remember guys, this is my first impressions of the game. Hopefully your first impressions of the game when you decide to play will be better than mine. So try not to expect too much and do try and have some fun with it. So if you had a different experience than I did, let me know in the comments down below. And on that note, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz guys. Much appreciated. Cheers for the support. Feel free to swing by the live stream and say hello sometime. I stream from Monday to Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/Quamii. All other details will be in the description box down below. I hope you found this video useful, and remember to keep practicing, keep improving, hang in there, stay Quam. I'll catch you guys on the flip flop, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the live stream.